Welcome everybody. This training is designed for directors to be able to share with your staff, helping with clarity, expectations, and teamwork. So here we go. Let's talk about covering your shift. I'm going to go through a little bit of a training for you on how to understand and utilize the sublist, and then another one on kind of looking at the staff schedule to figure out and strategize who is best appropriate to cover your shift. We have worked really hard to do a couple things. Number one, to hire staff that are looking to pick up shifts. So substitutes. Maybe it's just ideal for them. They only want to sub. We have that. Also, it's oftentimes someone that wants to work with us full time. So they're going to jump on our sub list and work their way into a few classrooms, into both centers, eventually hoping to land a part-time or full-time shift. So there's lots of scenarios, but we've captured their information on our sub list. You can access the sub list just as easily as you can access the Fruita or Grand Junction staff schedule. And so I'll show you here in a second on how to really interpret and understand the availability of different individuals to sub in Fruita, sub in Junction, and that is a constant developing list of information. So the information you're going to see, those staff may not even be with us anymore. Some of them likely will. But the important thing is how that sub list is organized. So I've got that. And then again, we'll talk about the staff schedule and how to try to cover your shifts with staff that are best appropriate. Most important, I want you to understand it is the expectation of Discovery and Admin that if you are going to be sick, and we're all going to be sick, that you put a plan in place. The moment you know you start feeling poorly and potentially aren't able to come in and cover your shift, that a plan is in place so that everybody else is not scrambling at 5, 6, 7 in the morning. There's a saying that says your emergency does not necessarily mean it should be my emergency. So please don't put that on everybody else. Please don't call a director or text them at 5:30 in the morning and say, I'm not feeling well, I'm not going to be in, and leave it at that. You're saying that my emergency is now your problem, and that is not acceptable. It's not professional, it's not respectful, and you say to yourself, but I was sick, I was throwing up. What I'm going to ask you to say to yourself is, and I didn't take any time prior to starting feeling poorly to try to put a plan A, B, and C in place in case I couldn't show up the next day. If you are going to be a long timer with Discovery, if you're going to be a core staff member, someone you want us to rely on and demonstrate your accountability, I need you desperately to take your shift serious. Make plans in advance. The moment you go, I may not be able to come into work tomorrow, get a plan B in place. And here's what you can do. Look at the sub list, look at the schedule, reach out to Nancy and say, hey Nancy, I'm not feeling well, I'm worried about tomorrow. If I can't make it in, would you be available to cover my shift? She might go, yeah, no problem. Work it out, go, okay, I'm usually up at 5 to get in by 7. If I don't feel well, I'll send you a message at 5:30. Is that possible? So you're asking Nancy to kind of be on call, but you have someone in place. That's way better than trying to get her up out of bed at 5:30, 5:45. She's not answering your message. Now you start to panic. You call the director. You see what I mean? This is why you need to have a plan in place the moment you think you're going to be out or possibly might be out in place. Now let's do this. Let's say you feel pretty good at night and you wake up just terribly sick. Did you have a plan in place? So you need to have a healthy plan as well as a sick plan. We talked about that. Now let's talk about the healthy plan. Know who you should call. If Nancy is your constant go-to to cover your shift, just know that have an arrangement with Nancy that you would text her or Vox her or call her. Maybe Vox, you can't rely on Voxer all the time or whatever mechanism we're using. If it's, Wi-Fi based and you can see that it's been sent, but it hasn't been played or received. You can do that on text as well. So understand the technology you're using and what technology you need to reach this person at the right time. So anyway, let's say that Tanya is the one that is your go-to to cover your shift. Make sure you know in advance on your healthy day. Say, hey Tanya, what time do I need to wake you up in order for you to cover an 8 o'clock shift? So say, I need 30 minutes or I need an hour and a half. Work that out in advance. Do not get complacent and just expect everybody else to scramble and cover your shift. That is on you. We all are early childhood professionals. We need you to take accountability for that. So make those plans in advance. The sick plan, which is, I'm not feeling well, I'm afraid I might not make it in, then make a plan in advance. And then there's that plan of, okay, I'm good, but what if I'm sick? Or what if my child is sick? Or what if I have a car accident and I can't get in? Who is my go-to? Look at the schedule, know ahead of the time, make some provisions in advance with staff on when to reach out to them so they can step in for you. Okay, let me warn you that if you reach out to your director, your admin, and say, I don't feel well, I can't come in today, and that's all you give us, you're likely to get this next video sent to you. So if you just got that last video sent to you, I would encourage you to consider this. I'm not asking you to quit. I'm asking you to rethink your commitment to the center, to your co-teachers. Most importantly, the co-teachers and your kids on, did I do everything in my power and my ability to make sure that I got my shift covered the best way, the most responsible way? Did I take ownership and responsibility for being sick? There's a lot of reasons we're sick. I didn't get my flu shot. I didn't take care of myself. I stayed up late too late last night. All those things. So we're just really asking you to really consider where you're at in your commitment to your job, to your co-teachers, to your classroom.